Hello and welcome back to the MindTrek.net game server. Today is January 20th, and this would be update number 12 for the ongoing pre-build process for the USS Enterprise E, a Sovereign class ship. I just talked to M. Heller a couple of hours ago, and he was watching one of the older update videos that just went live today, and he got a little confused. I apologize, M. Some of these videos are a little dated by the time they get uploaded. It just according to the YouTube schedule, and of course being down over the weekend rebuilding my computer kind of put a dampener on things. I have gotten all of the lower escape pods in now. This took some time, about 4 hours. I had several different reference materials to look at. I wanted to make sure I got them correct. What I decided to do is try what we call a silo system here. This may or may not work. But basically this deck would access this escape pod, this deck would access this escape pod, only in this area here, because I can't, and maybe in this area here, because there's a lot of room between here and the hull, so I can run a corridor through here and still have access to this for crew quarters. Not so much along the side of the ship. Along the side of the ship here, it kind of gets really narrow really fast at a deep slope, so I can't do it. So I spent most of the last couple of hours moving this corridor over here to match up with these. It used to be up against here, and I just didn't like the way it looked. It just didn't give me enough room, so I just routed this corridor through here, and I gotta say, I really like how it looks. If you look at the map, you can see it plays well right along the slope there. And I don't know what just bit me, but I think I just got bit by a spider. Some jumped down off the ceiling. Gotta hate that. Anywho's, no, it's a moth of some kind. That freaked me out. It's like playing Minecraft and hearing a creeper sizzle next to you. Like, what the hell? For the first time. Anyways, this is the main forward aquatic tank, and this is a crossover for the main forward aquatic tank. It'll only be whatever the height of this to here is, and it has a little view area, so crew member walking along here can see it. I also routed, yeah, it is a nasty looking bug. That is a big moth. I also routed the corridor pathing through here. This area will all be filled in. I just haven't got around to it. It'll probably be much like it is above us. I like it open so I can fly through here. Also, I left it open because I was trying to figure out where I wanted to put the holosuites, which we're flying to at this moment. And I also got this routed. So it looks a little funky here, but you know what? Normally I like to have them like in line, but you know what? Yeah, it couldn't work it. I wanted to work it in so that this corridor had its access point, and so on and so forth. These are little trunk ladders for emergency escape. They're not Jeffries tubes. They're just, you know, you enter it, and its sole purpose is to get you down to an escape pod, like so. And I try to fit them in around all the escape pods so that there's multiple ways to get to the escape pod other than, pray turbolift gets in or whatever. And it also saves me space from having to try and route Jeffries tubes to everything. This is one of the Jeffries tubes, and it goes all the way to the side of the ship. And so it goes from the center, well, almost center of the ship to the far side of the ship. Eventually, there'll be a version that'll actually, I'm thinking more or less, it'll either go straight across, or it'll diagonal up to this point, or it'll diagonal back to the center point, where there's a center crossover for the Jeffries tube somewhere around here. I think it's down here someplace. Yeah, down here at the very bottom. Well, there's going to be another one. There is going to be another one of these. I just haven't figured out where the hell I'm going to put it at. These are going to be reserved for medical and science and other things, so I might run it right down through here. I don't know, maybe I could even do it right here, because that leaves this area up here, and then this would be a nice area for whatever, and then we have our medical and our science complexes, so we should be good to go. So whatever I decide to do, I can do. It's in place now, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Here, if you can see this is actually the top of the holosuite system from the Voyager. I just went ahead and grabbed it. This wall pattern probably won't stay in place here for long, and then this obviously is going to be out to here as well. This wall pattern is definitely not going to be here. It's not going to be present. reason for that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it now so it doesn't become a problem for me. She's gone. And we don't need, well, you know what, I could leave that there. That could be set up for something else. Another power feed system B. This system here, believe it or not, actually gets its power from over here, right here. So it's getting its power. So these feeds aren't actually needed, and I can easily just go ahead and, well, they are needed, because evidently they go around the corner here, so we'll just do that. And I'll just throw these in here for temporary. This wall, I think M's got a different pattern for the interior of the Sovereign, so can we grab one? For right now. Just for right now. We'll fix it later. But basically I did that because if you come down here, here's the corridor that allows you access into these holosuites. One's larger. I think the depth of this one is pretty nice. This is an exact size of the one that's on the Voyager, so you know, it's nice to have that. And then we have a smaller one here. And again, this one here that has the longer, because they'll enter from, I have to get to the exact center point, but they'll basically enter from like here or whatever. And you get the depth. And on this one it's a little shallower, but they're both the same width, so works out well. And of course, since it's a holosuite, it has to be double thick. And on this side, what I'll do is I'll move this wall. In fact, we can do that right now. Come here. We'll cut, step sideways, paste, and we'll put our little thing there, and we'll just come along here like so, and fall. Then never be able to get back up again. Come on, there we go. Impeller was a little confused by the recent release, or the video that just went live for the Sovereign build. I'm sorry about that, M. That's my fault. YouTube schedule is a little funky, kind of a pain in the ass to work with. So the videos didn't go out when they were supposed to, and since I was in the process of rebuilding my system over the weekend, I didn't get around to addressing the issue until today. In fact, I didn't even realize that they hadn't gone out. I had videos set up for yesterday and today. Today should have been video 11, but it didn't upload, so I had to re-upload it. And I think it's live right now, actually. So video 11 just went live. But yeah, for those of you who don't know, I ended up rebuilding my system. My Asus motherboard I thought was giving me some problems, and I didn't want to take the chance, so I went ahead and RMA'd it, and they think it's a heat issue. So yeah, and they also think it might be my memory, so I went ahead and got a hold of Corsair, and Corsair changed out the memory. But I didn't want to take a chance, so I went ahead and purchased a new Gigabyte motherboard and CPU from Intel, Core i5, and I went ahead and spent the weekend swapping it out. And I have 4 drives, not counting my external drives, that are internal to the system, and I was really had to take my time to make sure that those drives and all the functions between all the drives stayed intact as I migrated Windows from one computer to the other. As you know, Windows IDs itself with the motherboard, not the computer. It IDs itself with the motherboard. So you swap out the motherboard and everything else. You can do system rep, which is a Windows feature. It failed on my computer, so I had to manually go in and delete all of my Asus motherboard information, all the drivers, everything, except for the video card drivers. I didn't delete those. But all the anything to do with Asus had to be done, and then I had to shut it down, migrate everything to the new computer. That means tear down the old computer, rebuild it, which took a lot of time because the Corsair case I have and the Gigabyte motherboard, they didn't match up. I had to re-drill and tap a lot of holes for the case, and I wasn't happy about that. They were off by 16th to 26 thousandths of an inch in most cases, and that is a big difference when you're talking about a precision built case and a precision built motherboard. It's supposed to be plug and play, and they didn't. So I think the Gigabyte boards are out of spec. That's my opinion. I'm just saying, everything else, all the other ATX motherboards fit in there just fine, but the Gigabyte one shouldn't want to fit. But I got it all in, fired it up. It validated Windows without problem. All my file systems were intact. There was an issue with some drivers. My external hard drive likes to mount and demount all the time without warning. That's really annoying. I haven't figured out what causes that yet. Apart from that, so far so good. I have it slightly overclocked. I have a 4670. I think it's a 4670. I have to look at the specs again, but it's an unclocked processor, and I decided to go ahead and run it just a little bit faster than what its clock speed is. So right now it's running at almost 4.1 gigahertz, and it seems to be stable. It helps out a little bit in the single-threaded programs like Minecraft here, so that's the only reason I overclocked it. The memory's the same. It's just Corsair Dominator memory. So, but yeah, so far so good. It took me all weekend to do that, and I'm still sweating it because I still don't know if everything's working or not. Anyways, I went ahead and got this turbo lift all the way routed back here, and I went ahead and dropped it down, and I'm going to run it. This is what I just got it marked up. Going to run it along this corridor here to this point, and then it goes back up and down again. I think we have to go up here for me to get to where, yep. Yeah, basically it comes up and then it runs along here. And I haven't gotten this far back yet, but it's going to come down to this deck. This deck? Yeah, this deck. And then it's going to come around and work its way into the turbolift system. Or actually, I think it says, excuse me, it's going to come down to this deck. And then it's going to work its way back into the turbolift system back here. So all the turbolifts are confirmed, will be connected again, and everything else. It's a funky way to do it, but you know what? I don't care. Also, since this area here is the area we gained, because it's not in the deck plans, but this is the area we gained from the method we're using for the ship, our own design. M suggested we set this up for a deuterium tank. So I don't know if he wants to make one huge deuterium tank, which is what I would recommend for this build in this section of the ship, just one massive deuterium tank, or if he wants a bunch of smaller deuterium tanks, kind of like you know, this kind of pattern, but bigger, of course, all the way through here. I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to M to decide how he wants to do it. M's a tech guy. He knows a lot more about that stuff than I do. But anyways, you have the main impulse engines. I just sort of removed some blocks that were here. Only on this one. The rest of them are all intact. All four corners, because you can see the difference. The square and a square and a square, and this is an oval and a square and a brown thing. But anyways, I just put this here for reference, so we know that there's a lift or something that can go between the two. This can obviously be moved, changed, or reshaped, and put someplace else. But down here, you have 2 stories, and then 2.5 stories, 2 stories here. So this should be an ideal place for a deuterium tank for the impulse engines, as well as for these thrusters. So that's a good call for having a space like this for a deuterium tank. Plus, we have a nice little walk around, and of course, this will also. This, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna, because this section of the ship would be reinforced because it is deuterium. So these would all be like brackets and braces and things like that coming through here like this. Whoops. So, yeah, they'll all be like braces and stuff. Reinforcement stuff through here. Or I can set it up for like a mini little Jeffrey's tube or something. I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out. I haven't gotten that far back here. I'm still working on routing these corridors and sorting them out, because I've laid a few of them out, then I've changed them. Like today, I changed this entire section here. You know, it is what it is. You can't keep the shape of the ship in this design at all. So you gotta modify it. And this right here, all of these need to be replaced, because I'm obviously not using that as the pattern. So get rid of these before I forget, and then like get confused, like what the hell? What's going on here, Atrocities? For those of you who don't know, if you haven't seen one of my other videos, Imheller has integrated or remerged the Voyager. So the Voyager is technically, officially, I believe, done. You have to, double check with M. Hiller, but apart from just, going through and fixing little things here and there, I think the Voyager build's done. Yeah, that has been a lot of fun building that ship, and I hope the Sovereign proves to be just as fun, just as rewarding in the end. But time will tell. It just depends on how much time we get to work on these builds. Depends on how soon they can get done, who all contributes and helps out. Hopefully more people will, and hopefully we can get the Sovereign done, within a year, maybe two. Who knows? Anyways, this is our current update, and this is the Mindtrek.net game server. I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button for me, and thanks again for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Big ship.